welcome back to our channel. We're happy to see you. Today we're going to do a little video about comprehensive testing and why we chose to do it and how we did it. So do you want to explain what comprehensive testing is?
Comprehensive testing is kind of like state testing, but you can do it at home and you can see your scores, and the only one that sees them is your parent or teacher.
Right. So that is taking some of the pressure and stress away for her, because she's a little bit of she gets nervous about testing. So the reason that we chose to do comprehensive testing is because we felt like it was important to kind of see where she is and be able to track where she ends up. So it wasn't so much about making sure that she was on track. It was more, we wanted to test at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year, because in our house, we're all about what? Growth.
Yes.
Right? So we just want to see growth. And we felt like testing in math and reading, which in my opinion are two of the most important foundational things for education at this age. We wanted to be able to see where she started out and see where she ended up.
And speaking of that, I just did one of those tests earlier, and I did really good.
You did?
Yeah.
So basically, we wanted to be able to know kind of where she was struggling, where she was soaring, and then we wanted to make sure that at the end of the year that we had some growth, rather than like having a goal of where we wanted to be. We wanted to just make sure that she was growing. So the testing that we decided to use was from a website called Let's Go Learn, and we used the ADAM test for math and the DORA test for reading. The DORA test stands for Diagnostic Online Reading Assessment, and that's the one that she took today. And so, what did you think as far as how easy it was to figure out how to do it?
I think that it was kind of hard for the reading because there was a lot of it, and I thought I did really good at the spelling. That was easy, but some of the words were kind of tricky for me.
Yep. But that's what a test is for, right?
Yeah.
It took her about an hour and a half to do each one. We didn't do them both today. We did one before and one today. They both took about an hour and a half, and they're all on the computer, and then you can get your scores immediately.
Yeah.
That's a definite pro.
And
I felt
them
like
out actually today, so you can print them out, or you can just read them.
Yeah, we printed them out so that we could have them on file, kind of, so that at the end of the year when we print everything out again, we can kind of compare and see the growth that she's had. I wanted to kind of go through the pros and cons of the testing process that we have seen. So I wrote it down, so I'll be looking down at my notebook a little bit. So the things that I've loved about it is that I felt like it was an engaging format. They had little characters and lots of bright colors, and it was
That's really fun.
It was fun that way. I felt like it was really low stress for her, especially because it was administered at home.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't have the pressure of an expectation of the score that she should get. It was just, let's see where you are, you know? So I loved that about it. One really cool thing is that it's an adaptive test. And so as she's testing, it's gauging, okay, she's answering these questions really well, let's up the bar. Or she's not answering these questions well, let's lower it down a little bit and see kind of where she fits. So I thought that was really neat too. It's very easy to administer. I'll do a little video about kind of once you've purchased the test, how you actually get it set up for them. It's very easy. Guys, you go to letsgolearn.com and click on the login, and once you're logged in, you go over to your class. And when you go to your class, you check under the Q column and push View Q. Under View Q, you should have one of the tests that you purchased. We're doing reading today, so I would click Q. And then after you know that it's on your list, you push Class, go over to Start, and then under View Assessments, your assessment should show up, and you click Start again. and they get started. And then like I mentioned before, immediate results. Like as soon as she was done, I was able to click to the results and there they were. There was no waiting time,
really easy.
which in our immediacy kind of world, that was really nice for me.
Yeah.
And then the results are super detailed, comprehensive, and easy to understand. So I'll kind of show how the different scores can come out for math and for reading. So for math, there are multiple ways that you can ask to have that presented to you. One way is really simple, like this. Okay, just numbers. The numbers kind of coincide with the grade and the part of the year. Okay, so like her total is 2.93. So she tested at end of second grade, which is about where we would expect at the beginning of the year. But then it kind of breaks it down into the different categories, and that's super simple. Then you can get more in depth and print it out a different way. And it has kind of where she tested in all the different categories. It's front and back. So super easy. We're able to see kind of where she's doing really well and where she seems to kind of have some holes. So probably your biggest hole is what? Measurement. So now that I know that, then we can work on that throughout the year. I can have her help me measure things. Her dad can help her measure things. We can just practice that, which is great. So then for reading, it's a little bit different. It doesn't go into as many detailed categories. It looks more like this. There's this little kind of graph that shows all the different categories that were tested and where she is testing. And so in reading, it looks like spelling is our biggest area that we need to work on. Reading comprehension, holy cow, doesn't need as much help with that. And then if this is something that you are interested in, as far as like the actual state testing, how this compares to that, they actually have an option in the results where you can click on your state and it will compare the way that they tested with the standards expected in your state test. That wasn't necessarily as important to me right now because I more just wanted to know where she needed help. But they do that for both. So, this is for the math. It kind of goes through each of the categories and it gives 3 options. There's mastered, ready to learn, and foundational help required. So it kind of goes through all the different areas, and then it does the same thing in reading. It'll go through your state's test expectations, and then kind of how your child did aligning with those expectations. So basically, we were really happy with it. We were really happy with the way that the test was set up. We're happy with the results that we were able to pinpoint and the direction that it kind of gave us as far as where she needs a little more focus.
In the scores, it tells you what you need to work on and what you're really good at, so that you can make it harder or make it less hard.
Yeah, so that it allows us to shape her education at home more around her, the individual, which is great about one of the best things about homeschooling.
Yeah.
So I'd say my only con really isn't even much of a con. And that is that it does cost money to take this test. It's $25 per test. So $25 for reading, $25 for math. I personally felt like that was worth it for me based on what I really wanted to get out of it. And then we will do the tests again at the end of the year, more towards spring, and hope that we see some improvement and see the areas that she now needs to focus in more on as we adjust. So if you have any questions for us on how the test went, more information on why we chose to do testing in the first place. I know that not all families like to do that. Each one is different. If you just have any questions for us at all, we're happy to answer them in the comments.
Yes.
Just ask us.
If you have any questions, we would gladly answer them in our next video.
Yep. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.